Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Bellwether. I've done two different videos. One if Ripple wins and one if they lose. And you should check the playlist if this interests you or check the links below. But this video is about if they settle. And at first, I didn't think there was much to talk about. But quite frankly, honestly, this might be the most important one to think about, and it might be the route that the SEC is going to push for, but and it might be something that Ripple would agree with. And I hope they don't, but we're going to talk about that. Now, before we do, please hit that like button. We're trying to grow this community, and it helps us out a lot, and we do appreciate it. We want you to be part of this community, so subscribe. And at the end, let me know what you think in the comments section, because believe me, the settlement part, there are a lot of options that I may not be aware of. Now, that being said, I used to work for Bear Stearns way back in the day, and at the time, they were an investment banking firm that competed directly with JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. And so I've been behind the scenes. I've seen how things work with the big banks and the huge institutions and the governments, and it's never like you think. And trust me when I tell you, the Ripple SEC case is not about what we think it is. They do have an agenda. I just don't know what that agenda is. I don't know if they're trying to slow Ripple down so that they didn't take over the banking system and just run away with it and shut down the major banks, or if they said, well, hey, we know all this technology is coming, but they're not something we can control. We want to pick the winners and losers. Quite frankly, they picked Ethereum. They indicted Ripple and Brad, and here we are. I truly believe that's what happened. I'm not sure of what the reasoning is. Now, that being said, you know, Ripple is putting up a hell of a defense. Now, the part and if everything was just, like if we had a honest government that wasn't politicized and that the people that gave to their uh, campaigns didn't literally control them, the lobbyists, I think a true outcome should be that it should be designated a hybrid, and they combine maybe the Commodity and Exchange and SEC, and they merge those together and create something else. Because here's the truth of the matter: to be non-biased and just look at it as an educated outsider looking in, it's basically a commodity. But when you do raise money, when an ICO and or a pre-sale, it is 100% exactly like an IPO. An ICO and an IPO are exactly the same. You're raising money to basically give it out to the public and obviously make a profit. But now, that being said, commodities are totally different than stocks, and commodities can go down. No matter if you're trading in the futures commodities, you can lose more than you put in. Now, you can do that in crypto if you're trading on margin, but if not, it trades more like a stock. So it's truly a hybrid, and that needs to be taken into consideration. And the funding is just to get all the blockchain or the protocol off the ground. So I could see, and this would make sense, and it would literally save face. This is why I like this conversation, and I'm curious about what you guys think. Because the SEC, in my opinion, are getting their ass kicked by facts and with Ripple, and they should win it. However, I just don't think, unfortunately, in the America we live in today, and I'm not getting political, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter if Ripple is guilty or not guilty. The the American government's going to create whatever they want to happen, period. And they're going to spin it, and that's just how it's going to be. I truly believe that. But how can they save face? And maybe, like the commodity exchange, they're trying to say, hey, guys, you're stepping over the line. And maybe some of these politicians are going to do, we're not cool with this. Well, now the SEC is knee deep. They've spent billions of dollars. They're hiring people. I mean, it's just crooked as hell. It's like Al Capone in a third world country running our damn SEC, in my opinion. But now, here's how the SEC could save face and not lose, not win, and kind of be a win. Well, it pretty much would be a win for XRP, a win for the SEC, but not necessarily be a win for the rest of the commodities. Now, hear me out. Here would be the settlement. They say, here's the deal. The way you raise money, you raised it like a security. However, we believe the token is a commodity. So now we are going to announce a new governing body, and they are going to govern it. That being said, the settlement part, you broke the law. Now, we're not going to charge you for it. We're just going to allow you to plead no contendere. You remember whatever that is? Yeah, no contendere. Is that what it is? Where you basically say, I'm not guilty or I am guilty. I just pay the fine. Here we go. They'll do that. And so therefore, it's a win-win. Now, why did I say it's a win for Ripple and maybe not the rest of the crypto? Because what would probably come with that is, well, we're going to fine you. Well, Ripple is pretty much got that covered already and has expected that and spent a lot of money, but they've already raised their money, their pre-funding and their ICO and all that. Well, all the new coins in the future would have to do it under a different regulation, and we don't know what that would look like, or they may not even be able to use pre-funding or an ICO. I don't know. But either way, I think that scenario has legs. It's a win-win. Ripple could they're good to go. They can get back on the exchange. They can go, dominate the banking sector. The rest of crypto knows where they stand. They can fine everyone. See, this is the kicker, that it's a win for the SEC. They've merged, so they said, well, we figured out we're just being honest. We're not overstepping. We're not being assholes, right? We have your best interests, so we're going to merge because it is a hybrid. It's new technology. We got you back. However, you all broke the law. There's 20,000 of you that did ICOs and pre-sales. Your ass is getting a fine. And we're going to slap the hand of all the exchanges as well. They're getting a fine. So the SEC can merge that into someone else being in control, which technically means they fudged and lost, but they save face, and they can bring in billions. They can fine them any damn amount they want. Now, I will say this, my educated guess. That settlement might not be the biggest fine in history, but it'll be substantial if they settle, because the SEC wants some of their money back. And not to change topics, but if Ripple loses, probably be the biggest fine in American history, straight up. But anyway, guys, that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Come back, be part of this community. Take care.